Picture a movie with a dismal 5% score on Rotten Tomatoes, universally panned. You'd think it would fade into obscurity,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. You'd expect it to be completely forgotten by now.
But instead, the 2004 comedy Christmas with the Kranks has become this inescapable holiday staple. So welcome to the deep dive.
Glad to be here. Today, we're taking a stack of sources to explore how a critically despised slapstick film accidentally birthed a dystopian horror story.
Right, a horror story about the American suburbs. Okay, let's unpack this. The strangest part of this movie's legacy is, well, just how incredibly fast it was manufactured.
Oh, the timeline is staggering. I mean, it's based on John Grisham's novella, Skipping Christmas,
Yeah.
and director Joe Roth read the galley on a Sunday.
Uh-huh.
He secured the rights on Monday. And then by Friday, he had finalized the casting of Tim Allen and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Wait, Friday of the same week?
Yeah, the exact same week.
That is insane. And they literally built a $5 million winter neighborhood set on the site of a former space shuttle assembly facility in California.
Talk about an industrial approach.
I know, right? It's like instead of careful aerospace engineering, the studio treated this production like a fast food drive-through. They aggressively manufacture what the industry called Tim Allen's Christmas karma.
Because they were rushing to cash in on his massive box office success from the Santa Claus, right?
Exactly.
And, treating film production like fast food explains exactly why the tone changed so drastically from the original book. Grisham's story was actually this witty satire about middle-class exhaustion.
Yeah, the characters had a deep, really relatable disillusionment with the holidays.
Right, but true satire requires careful, nuanced script tuning. Slapstick, on the other hand, is fast.
Yeah.
You just need an actor to fall off a snowy roof.
So because they rushed it, Luther Crank's complex fatigue was just stripped out and replaced by a shallow financial calculation. He basically just wanted to save the exact $6,132 he spent the previous year.
Yep, it became entirely about the money.
Right. And by swapping out genuine human motivation for extreme physical comedy, the neighborhood's reaction to him accidentally mutated into something deeply unsettling.
It really did.
Yeah.
Look at the neighborhood viceroy, Vic Frohmeyer, played by Dan Aykroyd.
Oh man, Frohmeyer.
He doesn't just disagree with the Kranks skipping the holidays. He basically leads a suburban insurgency.
He organizes protests, right?
Yeah, he deploys carolers to harass the family over a missing Frosty the Snowman roof display. And the film's composer actually uses jingle bells to build this oppressive tension.
Wow.
Critics actually describe the tension as reaching a beastly proportion.
See, I have to push back on the movie's whole premise here, because the film frames Luther as a selfish jerk for wanting to keep his $6,000. But I look at him and I just see the victim of a suburban cult.
A cult.
Well, yeah. You know that feeling when your office throws a mandatory holiday party and opting out feels like it makes you an enemy of the state? This takes that crushing, unavoidable social pressure to an insane extreme.
What's fascinating here is that modern online communities are picking up on that exact vibe. They don't view the neighborhood's enforced cheer as festive spirit anymore.
What do they see it as?
They see totalitarian stalking. Joy is literally weaponized to keep people in line, making the community look less like a neighborhood and more like an authoritarian regime demanding compliance.
Which brings a really dark undertone to how the movie ends. In Grisham's original book, Luther has a sincere redemption arc. He realizes the value of community and willingly gives his cruise tickets away.
A genuine change of heart.
Exactly. But the movie forces a completely different resolution. Luther doesn't have a change of heart. He just surrenders to the mob.
He is scolded into total capitulation. And the visual cues back this up perfectly. Take Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Nora.
Right, what about her?
Analysts point out that her Christmas vest acts as a visual symbol of puritanical submission to the collective.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the second she decides to abandon the boycott, she puts that vest right back on.
And what she's submitting to isn't just good cheer, it's a consumerist ritual. The neighborhood is furious because the Kranks aren't buying a tree or donating or putting up lights.
Their refusal completely disrupts the local seasonal economy.
Right. So the film accidentally functions as a critique of capitalism. The Kranks are punished and ostracized until their rebellion collapses, and they are forcibly indoctrinated back into consumerism.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's a fascinating accident. The filmmakers aimed for broad comedy, but ended up capturing a very real, very uncomfortable sociological truth about our social obligations.
And that accidental truth is exactly why it survives. I mean, critics hated it, but Audience exit polling gave it a reliable B cinema score.
Yeah, and now, in 2026, it's a permanent fixture on networks like Freeform and streaming on HBO Max.
This cranky mood, being exhausted by tradition but unable to escape it, clearly resonates deeply with you, the viewer.
It really does.
So what does this all mean? It leaves you with a final thought to ponder. If a community's aggressive reaction to a family skipping Christmas feels like a horror movie, are our own seasonal traditions driven more by genuine joy, or simply by the fear of becoming social outcasts? Or worse, are we actively training the next generation to mistake consumer compliance for actual holiday cheer?